Welcome to my YouTube channel, Surowicz Watercolor. This video is one in a series of videos I'm doing of Christmas cards for 2020. I hope you enjoy this, and if you do enjoy my channel, be sure to subscribe by clicking on the icon in the lower right hand corner if you haven't already. And if you do like this video, be sure to like it and share it with others. This picture of a creek running through a snowy mountain pass is my Christmas card number 2. You can find the link for the template for this in the description of the video. Hi everyone, I'm in my studio and I'm working on the second card in my series of Christmas cards for 2020. So this is another card where I'm going to have a snowy scene, and I'm going to apply some masking fluid. This template you will find on the YouTube reference page of my website, surowicz.com. And I'm using a toothbrush and a jar of masking fluid. And I've put some soapy water on this toothbrush to help it clean up. And now I'm just going to splatter some masking fluid by pulling back the bristles. I'm also going to create some patterns in here by striking this against my hand. Those will actually make bigger drops than the technique I use to pull back the bristles and splatter, which will make smaller marks. So I have that pattern down, and I have these little Christmas trees up here, and I have some ornaments on them. I want to preserve those so I can put some bright colors on them, and I don't have to worry about painting around them. So I'm going to take a little bit of masking fluid here with a squeeze bottle, and I'm going to preserve those areas so they can get a nice bright color on them. And that's all there is to it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this air dry, and now I'll begin to paint. Hi everybody, I'm back here in my studio, and the masking fluid is dried, and this is going to be my second in a series of 2020 Christmas cards. So I'm going to start right off with some royal blue, a little sap green. It's leaning more towards the blue side, however. And I'm going to paint this kind of an icy blue-green sky here. So quite a bit of water in this. And I've splattered masking fluid on this, so it creates quite a texture as I put this wash down. If you want a little more blue in my mixture, I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to stop at the snow line. Pretend that snow line goes across there. And so I'm working on a 5x7 prefabricated Christmas cards, 140 pounds. My board's at a 20-degree angle, and this is cold press, and this is a folded over sheet of paper to make this card, and that's how it comes. And so now this is wet. I don't want to get too crazy with this in terms of soaking it, but this is wet right now. I'm going to do some wet and wet brushwork to suggest these images of some distant trees. And I probably could have lightened up these pencil lines a little bit, but I've already got masking fluid down, so I'm going to leave them be. Now I'm going to take some more of the same mixture I used in that sky, but I'm going to go a little darker with a mixture, not too much, and it's still going to be blue. But I'm going to start to give the suggestion of some distant trees. And on the template, which you'll find on the YouTube tab on my website, where I put some of the templates, it's a YouTube reference tab. If you go to surowicz.com, you'll find the template for the series of Christmas cards I'm doing. But on this template, I've just given a very slight indication of just some placement of trees, but you can stick in trees going all the way across here. I just wanted to give some indication of height and location of where that tree line's at. So that's kind of what I'm drawing or painting in now. I'll put a little bit over here. Just trying to make it look like there's a distant line of some trees. I think I'm going to get just a little thicker mixture so that it has a little more body to it and it keeps a little more of the shape, because this paper is still very saturated. And I might actually wait just a second on that. Let that get a little drier. Let me pick up some extra moisture here. Let that get a little bit drier so that I can hold the shape a little bit more. It's not too bad, but let me just let that set a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to take some of this kind of a blue-green. Actually, I want it to be a little bluer. And I'm going to paint what I'm suggesting is kind of some ice that's along the edge here, and I want that to be lighter. It's kind of the same color that I have there. So if I were to have some ice along the edge here where the water's frozen close to the edge, but still some open water. I'm going to do the same over here. So give the suggestion of some ice. And now I think I'm going to go back. I'm watching that moisture content. It's starting to get more towards a damp condition, and as long as I use some thicker paint, I'm not going to get any backwash. So now I get a little stronger suggestion of some of the form of the trees back here, and it works with the softer, the lighter shapes that I had from the first brushwork I did. So this is working wet on wet right now, creating soft edges. So that's pretty good. Actually, I might carry a little bit darker value over here and a little bit there. That's not too bad. And I think I'm going to go in here now with a little shadow here on my slope. This is going to be kind of a bluish green, almost pretty much a monochromatic painting. Let's get a little of this kind of a roll of the land here. I'll soften that edge with some clear water. You know, these are just Christmas cards. They don't have to be, you know, don't look at them like they're a masterpiece that you're going to be hanging in your living room, or, I mean, you want them to be nice, but you can just have a little fun and relax while you paint something like this. There we go, and I'll have a little shadow here. I'm going to soften that up. I'm going to blot that. A little too much water right there. You always have to be looking around, understanding where the moisture level is. Alright, so there we go. And before I go any farther, I'm going to put a little bit right here, just to indicate there's a separation. Before I go any further, I'm going to dry this. Catch this here. Let's see, let's see how have I drawn this. I drew this to have a little bit of that wind around back there. I want to get a horizontal here. It helps the landscape to have strong horizontal. There we go. And now let me dry this. Alright, that's dry. So now, get a little bit of a darker mixture here. One that leans towards blue and one that leans towards green. And I'm just gonna paint a Christmas tree shape in here. And I've masked off just a couple round shapes to suggest the Christmas ornaments. So when I lift that off, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to treat those. I was going to make those red. I think I'll probably still do that, make those red Christmas ornaments. Get a little more blue. I could do them with kind of a silvery blue. Let's see what we'll do here. I think I'll probably leave them red though. Just bring this down to the edge of that slope. So now I have my Christmas trees. Now I have a decision. Am I going to keep this water light and drop some colors in here to pick up some reflections and let it just kind of come down vertically, or am I just going to paint that as dark water? I think I might just paint it as dark water. Let's see. So I'm going to take kind of this blue and blue-green. I'm going to drop that in there. Maybe I'll leave some areas where it looks like there's some snow. I don't know. Well, no, I'm gonna bring this color, this dark value, this color, blue-green, all the way out. So I'm right along the edge of the ice here that I painted. So let's come right to the edge, say like a shape. And I'm actually going to take a darker value here, make a few horizontal marks, and just drop in some darker value near the shoreline. Sometimes it gets a little dark there. Right on the edge. And then I might put a little edge. I have to dry that first. Let me just give a suggestion, a little edge along here, along the ice. Maybe even a few cracks, just to make it like that ice is cracked a little bit, kind of like that. Just some breaks in it. A little more edge there. I don't quite like that. All right, let me straighten that edge up. I just want to have it nice horizontal there. So there we are. So we have this. Let me put just a little bit of a glaze over a few of these areas where it gets near the snow. So it's a little darker. Kind of like that for the ice. So let me dry this and we'll take off the masking fluid. I'm not real fond of that little mark that I have there. I must have hit it with my brush. So I'm going to take this magic eraser here. It's wet. I'm going to scrub that off just a little. There we go. I have a little mark there, but I don't think it bothers me too much. I'll probably make it worse, so we'll leave that alone. All right, let me dry that little area. And I'll take my pickup eraser here. So now I have this snowy winter scene, and I'm going to take just a little bit of a red, maybe a little brighter. I'll use my Pyro red here. Trying to decide which red I want to use. Maybe I'll use this quinacridone coral. I kind of like that. So let's see, I'm going to paint these red. I think we have a few Christmas ornaments, so I'll just blot those a little. Maybe not as strong, just a very subtle suggestion of a few Christmas ornaments. And I might put just a little evidence of a trunk. Back here, just barely. Maybe some little dried out trees. couple of those. Alright. Can't quite get this one in here. There we are. Alright, let me dry this. And now you take off my tape. And there we have just a simple little Christmas card. Put it in the envelope, put a message inside. You can put Merry Christmas in there. And that is the second in my series of 2020 Christmas card. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.